known you as the Zoom meat beater.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna stick with him forever.
Like literally, if I remember this 5 years from now, I would literally go to his Instagram and see where he came out to, because technically for like a good 2 or 3 years he can't get back on TV.
I was just gonna say, not a year, people are still gonna remember it then. But I was more thinking like, even if you went to apply at McDonald's would be like, nah, we're good. We ain't trying to have you make no mayonnaise for our sandwiches.
Oh my gosh!
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I hope he's rich, because I don't know if he's gonna be able to recover from this shit.
I mean, he can. He's gonna have to change his name and probably
go to a different country.
Yeah, no, he could get a good job here. He's just gonna have to change his name. I believe so. Or even if he don't change his name, it's just gonna be more for Batusa.
Yeah, I want to say he was a legal analyst. I don't think it was actually like a person like that. If I remember right, I believe it said he was just like an expert legal analyst. So he's one of those people that they bring on the show to explain to you shit.
Yeah, but still, like, I mean, maybe he could go back to his own profession.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that his clients still want him.
I mean, it's just gonna be funny because I already know for the next like 3 weeks it's gonna be nothing but jokes on his clients and everybody about how you beat your meat.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he's got a big dingling and he'll end up in porn.
Did you ever watch the
video? No, I didn't watch the video. But I'm just saying, maybe he does. And maybe it'll work out for him and people will be like, oh, I want to watch him. I mean, you never know. Shit, people are fucking weird.
You should watch it and then you tell me about how do you feel about his.
I told you, if you make me watch it, you're going to watch that shit too.
I'm perfectly not okay with that. I will pass 100%.
That's about the only way you're ever going to get me to watch it, is if like we have to watch it just to talk about it on this show.
No, it already passed.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only way. I ain't never trying to watch no dudes banking. I'm sorry.
It's already bad enough me watching porn and not come at the wrong time.
Anyways, we're going to move on from that one and talk about how Purdue Pharma is pleading guilty to $8 billion for the U.S. government in an opioid settlement. So, I mean, that's a good bit of money, but as we were talking about this, most of the money's not really going to the people. Like, a lot of it's like fines and shit like that that's going to the government.
$3.5 billion is a criminal fine. 2.8 is a civil penalty. $225 million is going to the Justice Department, and then only 1.7 billion is going towards the people and also future lawsuits.
Yeah, it said they had over 1,000 different cases pending between state and personal, that from people actually filing charges against them.
I mean, I still think it's crazy that this one company started the whole opioid crisis.
I mean, I believe it, because, back in the day, I believe they used to pay people to actually go out and, like, the sales reps and, like, bribe doctors and all kinds of shit. I believe that's what this whole big thing is about, if I remember reading that.
Yeah, like, they went to go bribe doctors, and pretty much, they had other medicine they could give out. The first medicine was like, hey, give them this Oxycontin.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy thing. I mean, it really is. I mean, they said there's been over 400,000 deaths in the United States alone since 1999. And that's a good bit of people. I mean, and I feel bad for all of those families that could have had this avoided if it wasn't for all of this stuff that they were pushing on people.
I mean, yeah, but think about the people that helped too. Like, for the people that didn't help, I think this becoming more and more a bigger thing, because we going through this whole thing about how opioids is so bad in America and everybody hooked on it, but I don't know a lot of people hooked on this stuff.
I mean, I've known a lot of people that like started it on it and then went to different shit, but I mean, I never really known anybody who was like, oh, I gotta have my oxys. They like pretty much go from like oxys to heroin.
Yeah, I told you about how that's how a lot of people go to heroin. Have to try to get off of oxys. Well, they cooked on oxys, but then the doctor not giving them anymore. But I just want to know how many people was like, I just don't understand this whole company. Like, I'm pretty sure none of this money is coming from the real company. It's probably coming from insurance and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure it is. But I mean, think of how much of this shit could have been avoided if we would already had weed legalized.
I mean, let's think about all the times that this could have been one of the big companies like, weed is bad. You should just keep making them take opioids.
Oh, I mean, like, guarantee you they posted shit like that and had videos and advertisements made. I mean, I'm just saying.
They probably was one of the stupid people who said, we make your brain look like this. Your brain is your egg. This is your brain. This is your brain on weed.
I think my favorite ones where the chick sits into the couch. I believe that's one of the weed commercials, was where like this little girl like sits into the couch and she just like gets swallowed by it, and she's just sitting there and just like apparently now the couch. And I'm just like, man, I never got that high.
I'm about to say, the most highest I ever got, I just went to my room, passed out, and then I woke up. I was like, wow, that was one of the best sleep of my life.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Like me getting high, either option A, I'm just gonna feel good and not move. Option B, my fat ass gonna be eating a lot of stuff. Option C, I'm just gonna go to my room and fall asleep on the bed.
Oh yeah,
if not fall asleep on the couch.
There've been a lot of buffets that made a lot of money off me whenever I was high.
It's been a lot of times. They better be lucky I stopped smoking weed as much, because I remember back in the day when I used to smoke and then try to order, like say, man, I want to go get some food, and then my homeboy, I didn't have a car back in the day, so now I had to call my homeboy, and he be calling me like, yo, I'm outside, and then the next day he called me like, yo, you must have passed out. I'm like, yeah.
Shit, I used to remember going to CC's, and there was nothing better than that. Whenever you were high, for like $4 or $5, go eat as much pizza as you want.
Oh, I remember the time when I first smoked like actual loud gas, and then like literally 10 minutes after smoking, I pretty much passed out until for like at least 12 hours.
Yeah. Nah, I remember the first time I ever smoked, like the dopest shit I ever did, and like, we kind of went a little bit crazy. Like, this shit was so sticky. Like, we ended up like smoking so much, but apparently like we had a contest to see where all this shit could stick to. So like, the next day, whenever we weren't high, we was like weed stuck everywhere, like all over the TV, the walls, like all throughout the entire house. Apparently we just started throwing weed everywhere to see how long it stuck, and like almost all of it was still stuck to the wall. It was ridiculous.
I feel like y'all had a fun time taking all that stuff off.
Yeah, we just ended up smoking it eventually, but you know, it was funny.
Well, I remember the first time I smoked, I didn't really feel like I got high. I feel like I smoked some bullshit. But the first time in college I smoked, man, you talking about the hot box in a car? There's been plenty of hot times when you just drive around, hot box the car, and I pass out, wake up, hey, we back at college. And I'm like, well, damn.
I used to hotbox my car in high school, sitting in the fucking parking lot. My teachers would sit there looking at me, and they'd be like, are you serious? I'd like get out, and there'd be smoke just rolling out everywhere.
Well,
like,
see, we used to hotbox my friend mom car, and then like literally, she used to say she could tell we used to smoke, and then you know when you're young, you're not putting 1 + 1 together. That you sprayed a whole bottle of free breeze in the car, and you literally closed the door, and she's the first person to wake. We literally did this at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, smoked, and then took her car, drove around for a little bit, hotbox, parked it back at like 2 or 3, got a whole bunch of free breeze and stuff, sprayed it in the car, didn't roll down the window, just decided to spray it in the car, leave it, close the doors, and then she wake up at 6 or 7 and go to work at 7.
Yeah, that shit won't help at all. You can still smell the weed through it.
Oh, she was. But the only thing she used to do was joke around with us like, oh, all y'all do is smoke weed all the time at night. And we like, no, we don't. We don't smoke. She like, shit.
So you're going to hear something funny, right? So whenever I was smoking, my mom didn't even know that I had actually smoked until I was 18 years old. And whenever I was 16, we actually had a hookah, like a legit hookah, not like something we actually smoked weed out of, right? We had this really nice, expensive hookah that we would smoke tobacco out of. And my mom found it in my trunk of my car. And like, next thing you know, she took it to the police station, and she's over here freaking out on me, telling me I'm going to jail and all this shit. And I'm sitting there like laughing, and I'm just like, we've never even like smoked, not even like a single bowl of marijuana out of this, like not a single piece.
So just tobacco only?
Yeah, I mean, it was it. It was all we did. I mean, after she was done with it and I got it back from the police, I did, but she like took it to the police and was like telling me I was going to jail and all this shit. And then like even then afterwards, she still had no idea that I used to come home baked all the time.
I mean, you lived on like miles and miles of land, so I could see you just before you get to your house, picking up the mail. By the time you get to your house, be all the way gassed out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I used to just smoke out back. And she just never had any idea. I don't know how. I think it's because she's never actually smoked weed before, so she doesn't know what it really smells like.
Shit.
I mean, that's like, dude, we had this this class in high school. I think it was 9th or 10th grade. And it was like a drug class where the police actually came in with like briefcases filled with drugs and shit like that. And like incense that were supposed to smell like them. Right? Yeah. So they started burning this incense, and they were like, oh, this is what weed smells like. And I was like, yo, what kind of shit are you smoking? And they looked at me and like, I didn't think about it because I was really high at the time. And they were like, well, how do you know what weed smells like? And I was just like, I don't know. And they were like, uh-huh. And they were like, oh, yeah. They were like, so this isn't that fire, is it? And I was like, nope, not at all. I'm like, y'all be smoking that fucking grass. Like, you might as well just fucking cut up grass clippings. Like, I don't even know what the fuck this is supposed to resemble.
My dad told me the funniest joke ever. So it was like, my brother walked in, he smoked some weed, and he had like a certain smell on him. And then I smoked some weed, and then I had a certain smell on me. And my dad was like, what the fuck? How the hell y'all got better weed than I got? He was like, y'all didn't call y'all plug and give me some. Like, literally, me and my brother bust out laughing. That was the most, like, to this day, it's still the most funniest thing my dad ever said, and the way he said it. And he just looked at us like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, dude, trust me, for sure. I mean, I know the feeling. So I had that happen the opposite way. Like, we were smoking, right? And, like, one of my friend's dad's man was this huge old hippie, and I didn't know it. So, like, we come in, and, like, he smells us, and he's like, bro, you guys smell like shit. And he's like, he pulls out this bag, and he's like, here, smoke this. He's like, throw that fucking swag away. He's like, that'd be some garbage. And we're just like, what? And he, like, pulls out this fucking stupid head. And, like, I mean, dude, we were so high. Like, and that was probably, like, whenever I first started smoking, and he did that. It was amazing. Like, that was, like, a whole new intro to what we thought weed was.
Well, see, y'all used to smoke cool ways, because y'all used to have all that farmland and could just lay down in the grass and just smoke and be high and look at the woods.
Yeah, but we used to be creative, too. Like, the shit that we made bongs out of. I mean, we used to make bongs out of anything you could imagine. Like, if we could drill a hole in it and turn it into a bong, it became a bong.
I mean, the only thing I really made bongs out of was, like, the cans, water bottles, a fruit. We actually made a bong out of a pizza, like the crust of the pizza before. Yeah, we was really high. Couple times.
Wouldn't that get soggy and like break apart?
Yeah, after a couple times it didn't work out. Yeah. And then my friend had the idea like, hey, you should eat it. It's gonna be Reed favorite crust. Yeah, it tastes like charcoal.
Yeah, but sorry, we got a little off topic here, people. But
I mean, this is what we rather do than pop oxycodone all day, and then you hear us become zombies. Like I did the whole oxycodone thing for my broken back, and Max could tell you I was like a zombie when he went to go see me. Yeah,
he really was. He'd be like zoned out. I'd be lucky if we could have like a 5 or 10 minute conversation over an hour.
I mean, man, like all the pills I was taking, like I knew technically they was gonna keep giving me all the pills. They kept asking me, hey, are you in pain? And after a while I was just like, no, I'm not in pain. Looking back, I should have said I was in pain, because now I'm in kind of what I wanted to do was like get a little bit, and like just when I'm having my super bad days, take it. But now it's like, no, you can take ibuprofen and Aleve. I'm like, that don't do shit.
Yeah, I know. I get that all the time from the doctors whenever I tell them I'm hurting. They're like, oh, just take Aleve. And I'm like, Aleve what? Like, it doesn't relieve anything. Like, you don't understand how much pain some people actually feel.
I feel like so many doctors is afraid of making you hooked on Oxycontin or Percocets and all type of different things. I'm like, first off, I would literally let you test my blood and show that I'm taking the proper doses every time. I just want something to numb the pain a couple times.
I mean, I know. There have been so many times, like, I've actually had one doctor I've been able to open up to and tell him all the shit that I've done in my life, and that didn't like hold it against me. So, but that was good because then like I could explain to him, that I've done all this shit and I don't get addicted to anything.
I mean, my whole thing is like,